Social Security benefits. What you need to know this week. Here's a shocking reality that millions of Americans are about to face. While the government prepares to distribute billions in Social Security payments this week, a staggering 63% of recipients are fundamentally unhappy with what they're receiving. But here's where it gets controversial, and why this week's payments might spark more debate than gratitude. The Social Security Administration is gearing up to issue two distinct categories of benefit payments within the coming days, affecting millions of Americans who depend on these funds for their basic survival. But this isn't just another routine government payout. It's a window into one of the most contentious aspects of America's social safety net. This Friday, August 1st, marks a significant distribution day when three specific groups will receive their monthly lifeline. Individuals collecting supplemental security income, commonly referred to as SSI. Long-term retirees who began receiving their checks prior to May 1997. And those unique recipients who qualify for both retirement benefits and SSI payments simultaneously. However, the payment schedule doesn't end there. The government has orchestrated a carefully timed sequence of additional distributions that follows a birth date-based system that many find confusing and arbitrary. Wednesday, August 13th, will see payments flowing to retirees, surviving spouses, and spousal benefit recipients whose birth dates fall between the 1st and 10th of any given month. 2 weeks later, on Wednesday, August 20th, those born between the 11th and 20th will receive their payments. The month concludes with Wednesday, August 27th, distributions for individuals with birthdays spanning the 21st through 31st. But here's where the system gets particularly interesting, and this is the part most people miss. Friday, August 29th brings an unusual early SSI payment that would typically arrive on September 1st. Why the change? Because September 1st coincides with Labor Day, a federal holiday, forcing the government to advance the payment schedule. This seemingly minor adjustment reveals just how rigid and bureaucratic the entire system has become. Now, let's talk numbers and prepare yourself for some eye-opening statistics. As of May 2025, the average Social Security recipient collects approximately $2,002.39 monthly. While this figure might sound reasonable on paper, it tells only part of the story. A Social Security Administration representative explained to media outlets that these averages fluctuate monthly, primarily because newer retirees typically receive higher payments due to wage inflation over time, which gradually pushes the overall average upward. However, the individual payment amounts vary dramatically based on personal circumstances. The calculation hinges on an individual's highest earning 35 years of employment, adjusted for inflation, combined with the specific age at which they choose to begin claiming benefits. This creates a complex web of potential outcomes that many find difficult to navigate. For someone retiring at the standard full retirement age of 67 in 2025, the maximum possible monthly benefit reaches $4,018. But here's where personal choice becomes costly. Opting for early retirement at age 62 slashes that maximum down to just $2,831. Conversely, those patient enough to delay retirement until age 70 can potentially secure up to $5,108 monthly. That's a difference of over $2,200 per month between early and delayed retirement, a gap that compounds to hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. SSI recipients face an entirely different reality, with average payments of just $718.30 monthly. These amounts depend heavily on individual income levels and available resources, creating yet another layer of complexity within an already convoluted system. And this is where the controversy really heats up. With more than 50 million Americans collecting federal retirement checks monthly, recent research by the Senior Citizens League has uncovered some disturbing satisfaction levels that should make every taxpayer question the system's effectiveness. The numbers are stark and undeniable. Only 10% of Social Security beneficiaries express satisfaction with their monthly payments, while a crushing 63% report outright dissatisfaction. Think about that for a moment. We're operating a system where nearly two-thirds of recipients feel let down by the very program they've paid into their entire working lives. But the discontent doesn't stop at payment amounts. Recipients have increasingly voiced frustration with the annual cost of living adjustment, COLA, formula, arguing it fails to accurately reflect the real-world expense increases that older Americans face year after year. In recent polling, 34% of respondents identified updating the COLA calculation as their primary concern for improving Social Security benefits. This raises some uncomfortable questions about the entire system's sustainability and fairness. Is it acceptable that a program funded by decades of worker contributions leaves the majority of its beneficiaries dissatisfied? Are we witnessing the slow-motion collapse of America's most important social safety net? Or is this simply the growing pains of a system that needs fundamental reform? Even more controversial, should younger workers continue paying into a system that current recipients largely view as inadequate? And perhaps most importantly, if 63% of current beneficiaries are unhappy with their payments, what does this suggest about the financial security awaiting future retirees? These aren't just numbers on a government spreadsheet. They represent real people trying to survive on fixed incomes in an economy where costs continue climbing. The question becomes whether we're witnessing a program fulfilling its promise or one that system. The conversation around these benefit payments extends far beyond this week's distributions. It touches the core of how we care for our aging population and whether our current approach is truly working. Social Security payment update. No payment today. Imagine waking up to find your Social Security payment missing this month. That's the reality for many beneficiaries today, and here's why. Credits, Eco News In-House Edition. Each month, the Social Security Administration, SSA, meticulously distributes millions of payments to its vast network of approximately 70 million beneficiaries. The SSA has a well-structured system for dispersing these benefits, ensuring that payment dates are spread throughout the month. Your specific payment date is influenced by several factors, such as the particular Social Security fund you draw from, your birth date, and the date you initially claimed your benefits. As we reach the end of this month, beneficiaries will notice a gap in payments, but rest assured, the next round of benefits will be released as scheduled. How exactly does the SSA manage its payment schedule? The SSA follows a detailed payment schedule, which is outlined as follows. The second Wednesday of the month, for those with birth dates ranging from the 1st to the 10th. The third Wednesday of the month, for individuals born between the 11th and 20th. The fourth Wednesday of the month, for beneficiaries whose birth dates fall between the 21st and 31st. This schedule is adhered to rigorously, with the only exceptions being when a payment date coincides with a holiday. This strict adherence is not just about maintaining an efficient distribution process. It also helps beneficiaries plan their monthly finances accurately and reliably. But here's where it gets interesting. The rules change slightly for certain groups. If you're a recipient of Supplementary Security Income, SSI, or claimed your benefits before May 1997, your payment date differs. SSI-only recipients receive their payments on the first day of each month. Those who receive both SSI and retirement benefits, as well as those who claimed benefits before May 1997, are paid on the 3rd of each month. So, why are there no more payments this month? According to the SSA's payment schedule, https://www.ssa.gov/pubs/N25, the final payment date for this month was July 23rd, which covered beneficiaries born between the 21st and 31st. This means the next payment cycle will commence in August, starting with SSI-only recipients on August 1st. Interestingly, next month brings a twist. SSI-only beneficiaries will receive an additional payment on August 29th. It's crucial to understand that this is not a bonus, but rather their September benefits paid early, due to September 1st being Labor Day. What are the upcoming payment dates for August? For those who don't receive SSI or didn't claim benefits before May 1997, the August payment dates are as follows. August 13th, for birth dates between the 1st and 10th. August 20th, for birth dates between the 11th and 20th. August 27th, for birth dates between the 21st and 31st. Among these beneficiaries, some may be eligible for the maximum Social Security payment of $5,108. https sa.gov FAQs enquestions.html. To qualify, they must meet specific criteria, such as waiting until age 70 to claim benefits, having a 35-year income earning history, and accumulating at least 40 working credits. However, most beneficiaries don't receive this maximum amount, with the average monthly retirement benefit hovering around $2,000. Those who don't receive the maximum might wonder how to boost their payments. https.ecoticious.com /up to 5,000 checks, one group payment /17979. While payments are fixed once claimed, those yet to claim can employ various strategies to maximize their benefits without necessarily waiting until age 70. Disclaimer: this content is purely informational and does not override or replace official SSA or IRS publications and notices. Always verify specific dates and amounts by visiting ssa.gov or irs.gov directly, or by consulting your local SSA field office or a tax professional. And this is the part most people miss. How do you feel about the SSA's payment schedule and the strategies to maximize benefits? Do you think the system is fair, or are there areas that need improvement? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Who gets 2 Social Security checks in August? Find out now. Here's a twist that could change your financial planning. This Friday, August 1st, millions of Americans are set to receive their Social Security benefits, but some lucky individuals will actually get 2 payments. Confused? Let's break it down. But first, a question. What happens when a payment date falls on a weekend? The answer might surprise you, and it could spark a debate about how the system handles these quirks. Let's dive in. Who gets a check on August 1st? 1. Supplemental Security Income (SSI) recipients. The Social Security Administration (SSA) will send out SSI payments to 7.4 million beneficiaries on August 1st. SSI is a lifeline for people with limited income or resources who are either over 65 or living with a disability. Unlike retirement or disability benefits, SSI doesn't require prior Social Security tax contributions. It's purely need-based. This means eligibility hinges on financial need, not work history. But here's where it gets controversial. Critics argue that the strict income limits for SSI could exclude some who genuinely need help. What do you think? Should the threshold be adjusted to help more people? 2. Long-term Social Security recipients pre-May 1997. Around 70 million Americans claim retirement, disability, or survivor benefits, but only those who've been receiving payments since before May 1997 will get their August check on the 1st. Normally, these payments go out on the 3rd, but since August 3rd is a Sunday, the SSA moved the date forward. This shift highlights a recurring issue. How does the system adapt when traditional payment dates clash with weekends or holidays? Some argue the SSA should modernize its calendar to avoid such overlaps. What's your take? Who gets 2 checks on August 1st? 3. Dual recipients, SSI plus regular Social Security. Over 2.5 million Americans receive both SSI and another Social Security benefit, retirement, disability, or survivor. Typically, SSI arrives on the 1st and the other benefit on the 3rd. But since August 3rd is a Sunday, both payments will land on August 1st. This overlap is a rare but significant windfall for these individuals. However, it also raises a question. Should the SSA stagger these payments more clearly to avoid confusion? Share your thoughts in the comments. When do other Social Security checks arrive in August? For most beneficiaries, payment dates depend on birth dates. Here's the breakdown. Born between the 1st and 10th, you'll get your check on August 13th. Born between the 11th and 20th, your payment is on August 20th. born between the 21st and the 31st. You'll receive it on August 27th. This system ensures fairness, but it's not without its quirks. For example, someone born on the 10th and another on the 11th might get their checks a week apart, despite being just a day apart in birth dates. Is this a flaw in the system or a necessary compromise? Let's discuss. How much can you expect? SSI. The average monthly payment is $717.75, with a maximum of $967 for individuals and $1,450 for couples. Some states also offer additional supplements. Check the SSA's website to see if you qualify. Retirement benefits. Retired workers who make up over 70% of beneficiaries average $2,005.05 per month, with the highest possible check at $5,108. Disability and survivor benefits, averaging $1,582.07 and $1,571.30 respectively. Final thoughts. The Social Security system is a complex web of rules. Dates and exceptions. While the August 1st double-check scenario is a rare treat for some, it also underscores the need for transparency and adaptability. As the SSA navigates weekends, holidays, and evolving needs, how can it better serve all beneficiaries? Share your ideas below. Let's keep the conversation going. P.S. Want to stay updated on all things Social Security? Download our app for real-time news, expert analysis, and more. Whether you're tracking payments or planning for the future, we've got you covered.